6 countries that have sanctioned the United States. 1. Canada. Canada used to be the largest aluminum supplier to the U.S., but the Trump tariffs put an end to that. Trump invoked national security concerns to justify it. Canadian PM Justin Trudeau called it absurd. Then he announced $16.6 billion in retaliatory tariffs.
"We hope eventually that common sense will triumph,"
Trudeau said.
Unfortunately, the actions taken today by the United States government do not appear headed in that direction.
On July 1, 2018, Canada sanctioned U.S. imports. The Canadian tariffs matched the value of the U.S. tariffs, dollar for dollar. They covered 299 U.S. goods, including steel and aluminum. Other sanctioned goods included inflatable boats, yogurt, whiskeys, candles, and sleeping bags. The tariffs were lifted on May 20, 2019. 2. China. The Trump tariffs targeted China first and foremost. China called it a trade war. The Biden administration kept the tariffs. Indeed, it introduced new export limits. Chinese telecom companies were also banned from operating stateside. China imposed a retaliatory tariff of $60 billion in 2018. It proposed a further $110 billion tariff on U.S. goods. Many American companies are on China's unreliable entities list. Among them are Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. China has also banned Apple products in its government ministries. 3. India. India was another country hurt by the Trump tariffs. On June 16, 2019, India retaliated with tariffs of its own. 28 U.S. products worth $240 million were sanctioned. Some levies reached 70%. The sanctioned goods included apples, almonds, walnuts, lentils, and some chemicals. India is the largest buyer of U.S. almonds. It's also the second largest buyer of U.S. apples. The U.S. initiated a WTO hearing in 2019. It's still ongoing. 4. Mexico. Yet another victim of the Trump tariffs. Mexico retaliated early. It implemented retaliatory tariffs on around $3 billion worth of goods. These Mexican tariffs went into effect on June 5, 2018. They covered American steel, pork, cheese, whiskey, apples, and more. The sanctions were lifted on May 20, 2019. 5. Iran. Iran has been heavily sanctioned since 2015. After it pulled out of the nuclear deal, it's been virtually isolated. In 2022, it was additionally sanctioned for helping Russia's war. In retaliation, Tehran regularly imposes sanctions on Americans. However, these are purely symbolic. There are no legal imports to Iran. So instead of tariffs, it sanctions people such as Trump and Mark Milley. The step lets Iranian authorities seize any assets they hold in Iran. The absence of such assets makes it a moot point. 6. Russia. Russia was first sanctioned in 2014 for annexing Crimea. It immediately banned the import of U.S. foods. Since then, things have regressed much further. Russia is one of the most sanctioned states in the world. It keeps coming up with absurd retaliatory measures. Every few months, new U.S. nationals are added to a blacklist. They can't own property in Russia or enter the country. The list includes Barack Obama, several U.S. senators, and even actors. John McCain and Orrin Hatch are on the list too. Both were added when they were already deceased. No assets have been confiscated from any individuals yet. However, Russia passed a nationalization law in 2022. Assets of all U.S. companies who exit Russia become state property. The companies must either stay or give them up.